I can see Favor is here. Favor, welcome. It's good to have you. Hi. Okay, good. I hope you have questions. If you have your questions, get them ready. So I want to also add that, knowing many languages will help you. Unfortunately, when I was married to Yoruba, and I couldn't learn the language. And I shared with them before, Hazel, you came in. I was telling them that I just gave myself that impression, that limitation, that I'm not good in languages. So just because I only know English and Igbo, I don't think I'm good in languages, and I limited myself. So could you give us Tammy wants to learn Japanese. Which one do you want to learn again? I don't even know what that language is. She wants to learn. And personally, me too, I want to learn Spanish, because here we have a lot of Mexicans. But I just have that cloud, or that thing that is impossible. Can you give us the easier way to learn a new language?
Okay, well, basically, the thoughts are very important. They say thoughts are like magnets that attract the atmosphere to you. So, meaning when you're thinking about something, you're actually attracting it to yourself. That being said, the first step in learning a language is you need to love the language. When you love the language, psychologically, you're bringing down every obstacle that it is difficult. Because if your thought process is the language is difficult, my darlings, it will be difficult. Believe me. But when psychologically you're already at a place of mental stability, and you're telling yourself, oh, I want to learn Japanese, or I want to learn Mandarin, and people are saying Mandarin is one of the most difficult languages in the world because of the 1,001 characters he has, but you're telling yourself, oh, Mandarin is going to be interesting, it's going to be like a cartoon story, and I'm going to love the language. Once you've already psychologically, you've already passed this, surmounted this obstacle, you're good to go. So that's the first thing. When you love the language, it's the first thing. Then you apparently have to, personally, I feel it is necessary to have someone pay for a center, or have someone that will teach you, because personally, other people might say otherwise, but I learn faster when I have the human factor there. When there's somebody telling me, okay, this is the way to pronounce this is the way, at least let me have the foundation of the human factor. Once I have the foundation of the human factor, then the rest is history. So love the language, join a center that they learn the language, or get a coach, a private tutor, depends on what you can afford, and then give your best to it, and then go the extra mile. Once you have the good foundation, look for somebody, like if you if you want to learn Spanish, once you have the foundation, look for a Spanish person that is your friend, and be going to just the person. You will make mistakes. The person will probably laugh at you, but the person will correct you in love, because that's the only way to learn languages. If you learn a language and you don't speak the language, in your mind, you think you know it, but give yourself 1 week, give yourself 1 month, give yourself 1 year, it's definitely going to disappear. So get a friend that speaks the language, turn the person to your best friend, dedicate 10 minutes at least every day, conversing with the person, chatting with the person, and then in 3 months, when you're speaking, you'll be like, wow, is this me? So basically, that is the way to learn a language.
Right now, I'm in 8th grade, and I've been doing learning Spanish since 7th grade. My teacher is really awesome at telling us, because I remember when we were in Nigeria, we were learning French, and it was like almost 3 years, but we still didn't get it as much as how my teacher now currently, we adapted to learning Spanish in a short 6 months, compared to how long it took for us to learn a bit of French in 3 years. So I think last week I met with my guidance counselor, because I'm going to high school soon. So then me and her discussed about how for the 4 years I'm going to be in high school, I'm going to be learning Spanish. I'm going to continue on that. So I'm hoping by the time I graduate from high school, I'll probably be speaking fluently in Spanish.
So which Spanish can you speak to us now? Yeah, because our host wants to learn Spanish too. Our guest. So tell us something in Spanish. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. Puedo ir al baño. That means, can I go to the bathroom?
Oh, puedo ir al baño. Yeah,
Okay.
oh my God. Pronounce the baño.
Baño, yeah.
Baño, good.
The N has an accent mark, so it's like baño, yeah.
Baño, baño. Okay. All right. Baño is bathroom. Okay.
Yeah. So, please, I want to ask him a question. So, Percy, basically, what made your Spanish teacher exceptional that you could learn more in 6 months than your French teacher in Nigeria? What was it about your Spanish teacher?
Because she was gradually telling, like, she was able to be patient with us, and the way she was teaching it was very different. Because when we were opposing to when we were learning French, the teacher was like teaching us how to like say numbers in Spanish, and me personally, that wasn't really the like right way to go about it. But my teacher currently now, she started teaching us how to say the alphabet in Spanish, how to like, it's like learning English all over again, but in Spanish. So we started saying the alphabet, verbs, nouns, but everything is in Spanish, not in English. That's how it was, yeah.
Okay. All right, Kechi, your question.
My question is it's not really much of a question, but the funny thing is that I normally like sometimes, even though I don't even have like a kind of class, I normally just try my best to like watch some movies and stuff about what's it called, the UK English, because I really want to learn like the UK English. And then there's also this paragraph I reminded myself and I try to memorize it.
Okay. Yeah. That's another way of learning the language, like apart from always having the coach, like Hazel said. She said you have to have a coach. Then you can watch like movies and radio stations that have that speak that language, and then it makes you remember whatever it is you learned, right?
Yes, perfectly, because there are 4 aspects of a language. You have the spoken language, which is called the oral. Then you have the audio, which is called listening. Then you have oral, you have listening, then you have writing. When you're talking about writing, it's about writing a story, writing a letter, and then you have the comprehension, like your ability to comprehend a passage and understand the questions and answer it correctly. So some people find it very easy to speak a language, but when they hear someone speaking the language, it's difficult for them to understand, because you can't compare somebody that understands a language to somebody that is your first language. For example, some Nigerians find it difficult to understand when the British speak English. Like when a real British is speaking English and they go, you're like, what is this person saying? So it's the same thing how some Francophones find it difficult to understand when a Frenchman from France or even a French person from Canada is speaking. So you have to balance all the sides, listen, as she has said, watch movies, listen to radio stations, communicate with people so that you know that you're balanced when you're writing, when it comes to reading, when it comes to listening, and then when it also comes to communication.
Okay. Esther, do you guys have any question? Favor. Let me hear from you guys. I've not heard any questions.
Temi has remembered her question.
Okay, Temi, go ahead.
The question I was gonna ask is it true that it's easier to learn a language when you're younger than when you're like getting older?
Well, yes, to a very large extent, because when a child is very young, the child has the ability to learn like 8,000 things. Like the child is young, malleable, the mind can pick any other thing. Do you understand? So yeah, a young child can learn 3 or 4 languages at the same time. Well, even when you're older, it doesn't still mean that your brain is static or your brain is old. it just simply means that you have to be intentional about learning the language. So voila.
That's true. I want to add to that because as a young person, your, like she said, your brain, your capacity to retain things is better because you are not thinking of so many things. But as an elderly person right now, I'm thinking of how to make money, how to feed people, how to do this, how to do that. You have a lot of things going on in your brain. It's not that if I decide to knock those things off and pay attention to one thing, but as a young person, you don't have all those distractions. You don't have all those, things occupying your mind. That's why it's easier for you to gain all the knowledge or learn anything you want to learn right now. And it will, it will be faster, it will be easier in quote than when you are old or, like I would like to tell you that I've seen people, there was a man that said he wanted to do medicine. And I think he was at age of 70 something and he went back to school or something in New York. And you know that he read medicine. You know how hard medicine is. They say medicine is hard, right? Well, he did it. And because he decided to, I think he had retired now. So as a retired person, all those other distractions are off. So he focused on it and he was able to do it. So it's not about how old you are.
And then he was very young.
Yes. It's about your attention. How much attention you give to it. All right. So Esther, do you guys have any question? Unmute yourself.
Maltese, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Maltese, can you share an experience in which you presented to a group and like how did you overcome stage fright and some other problems?
Is that directed to me?
Yes, there, yeah. Well, you are a guest for now. I'll just add if I have anything to add.
Okay. Okay. Well, basically, stage fright is something that is always going to come. So what I try to do is I try to create a picture in my head that the people I'm talking to. Okay, let me give you a life scenario as an MC, as a compare like anchoring a program. Maybe someone just got married and then I'm supposed to be the anchor for the reception. I just put myself in a relaxed mood and just look at all the guests as my family members or people that are my very good friends. Or I look for somebody's face that is encouraging. Like when I look at the person, some people, when you look at their face, all the strength and boldness you have, someone will disappear because they will never smile. They will never encourage you. Mm-hmm. They would, even when you are so bold, it's like all the mistakes in the world, they are making it. People like that, don't ever look at them when you're having any presentation. So if you have any class presentation, there is somebody that is always encouraging. The person is giving you enough. The person is smiling. The person's ambience is welcoming. My darling, focus on that person. And before you know it, you just be relaxed. Do you understand? So basically, that's just it. And another thing about stage fright is practice makes perfect. I remember the first wedding I anchored, like, oh my God, I was like, can I do this? Can I not do this? Can I do this? Can I not do this? But at the end of the day, when I started, I was a bit shaky, but at the end of the day, I relaxed. I entered into my comfort zone. Don't form. Like, be in your comfort zone. Don't be in another person's shoes. Be in your comfort zone, and people will love you for who you are. And basically, you just find out that you just flow like a river.
Wow, that's true. Because, like you said, I don't know if I shared it with you guys. There was a day I told you I was singing and where you have elderly people in church, and you know how their face will be like, what's this one doing? Their faces were just tight, and my face hit one of them.
No encouragement, nothing at all.
Nothing. Really, my eyes hit one of them. I lost my line, like, boom. This is a song I know, but I lost that particular line, and I was like, you know, it happens. So that's why even like, I don't know if I've shared it with you guys, even big people, like even the presidents, the governors, they have a written speech that they always look at, so that in case they lose their line, that means nobody is perfect. Okay, Esther, that means that don't go thinking I'm perfect. No, don't just erase that. And I want to say that everybody, even Oprah, even who else is a very correct TV presenter or even motivational speaker, all of them, even your pastors, some of them, if you ask them, that's it's not like it's now stage fright, but that fear of the unknown or something is always going to be there. But as a person, your mind is now going to be the one to knock it off. And you have to have the right mindset to tell yourself, I can do this.